talking about you need as much data as possible. Then you can improve the numbers, and then you can do the same in another part of the town. Once you have the perfect, then you open in another store. I don't mean that the data you need to bring 100 customers if you bring 10 right now, but if you don't have the data, you're not gonna able to do the same in another store because you need something to analyze. I mean, you can open 2, 3, 4 stores, 6, but not 100. Never, ever, without strong numbers, data. You understand the difference? Small businesses, they have data that one person can hold, 2 people, 5, but for 100 stores, not going to be enough.
Chain, it's going to be.
Yeah, so you need to start from that because without all these solid numbers, you're not going to be able to make it. Second thing is niche. Is important. The third one, yeah, because some niches is going to be hard. Maybe it's possible, but it's going to be very hard. If you, for example, if you compete with Walmart, it might be really hard.
Oh, yeah.
But if you pick a niche and you compete with Gucci or Prada, and you have money to invest for your brand, maybe it's not that hard. But the niche also play one of the biggest role, you know.
Well, okay, got it. But I mean, like, so what? In the end, it's just like, well, we pick like the one niche that, like, let's say, is okay. Like, let's say clothing, as you said. Okay, we collected all the data and stuff, but there is still there is a decreasing number of customers coming in. Like your business is going down. So what do you do at that point?
At that point, obviously, you also have to go with the technology. You don't have a website these days. 50 years ago, you didn't need website. There was no website.
Yeah.
So now you have to have good technology if you're going to build a big company. I had the same problem. I had decent technology, but it wasn't that strong as it needs these days to survive. Because you need a website, you need like maybe sell on Amazon or other sources, and if you're not really strong there, like reviews, and you don't have a selection and stock, it's gonna be very hard to compete. So websites, like online presence, strong presence needs. Some businesses like restaurants, nowadays what I see, even if you have all that, it's not going to be enough.
And that's a tough business.
No, any business. I see nowadays, by the way, when I talked about people, it's important. Some people, no matter what they're gonna do, they're not gonna able to create big company also, because if they're not gonna find that vector, that personality who can be good manager. Because entrepreneur, it's the person who is always trying to move fast. He has ideas, he's creative, right? You know who I'm talking about? Usually kind of dermal vector. It's called dermal skin, and that person, he has ideas, he wants to run forward, he has too much energy. They label them in school ADHD because he wants to move all the time, he has too much energy. The reason for that, because he was a hunter in ancient times, and we didn't have tools, spears and nothing to chase the deer, so he had to run fast to chase the rabbits and stuff. So some people, they could run fast, their body structure is different. Some vectors, they just cannot run fast.
You can no tell matter what body structure?
You can tell everything. We'll get to that too.
Who am I?
Okay, we're talking about business, right?
Which one is that?
And they had to run fast, they had to chase wild animals, right?
Mhm.
So their body structure is different. They will have longer legs. They want to open the business. That's the same vector. They have to. They always kind of a lot of energy they need to burn. When they open up the business, you need completely different person to manage it. That person not gonna able to manage it. That's the mistake they do. They run the business
Oh, okay.
themselves. It has to be anal vector. Anal vector is person slow down, analyzing everything, perfectionist, try to make everything perfect, different body structure, because in ancient times his role was a protector of the house, family man, a woman, she was a mother in the tribe, and dermal with visual vector, she could not have kids in ancient time, this woman. We'll talk about vectors later. So they have different body structures because they had different roles in the tribe. That person, anal vector person, you can manage it. You can analyze the data, you can check, and in business, you have to create, you can say, a system, small systems, like who opens the door at 9 a.m., who turns on AC, who turns on lights and
Yeah.
computer. All these systems, that's for anal vector. That person can do that. That's fine for him. All day long, the same thing. Only these people could do. That the same vector who open the business is trying to do that, is not gonna able to do it, it's gonna go out of business. Understand? He has to be different personality now. Or he has to change completely, but he cannot change, you cannot change vector. Even if you change from male to female or other way, you still have the same vector.
Mhm.
Even I think even if you have next life, the next life is the same vector, I think.
Really? So you never get out of your vector? You're born like this?
Because how you explain Einstein or Mozart write symphony at 4 years old? Maybe, I think, last life he was a musician. Could it be? Only
Yeah.
certain vector can be musician. Not every vector. It has to be audio with
Mhm.
anal, audio with dermal, but without audio you can be Mozart. So if it was audio, maybe last life it was the same vector. Or Einstein, it's also anal vector with audio. And I think maybe last life he had the same vectors because regular person cannot create stuff like that, like they did. You don't change the whole world history. I think it's several lives, and your vector, if it's the same, it kind of
Evolves.
maybe not evolves. Maybe it's kind of accumulates that energy and some information.
Mm.
So if you go to the next life, it has to be the same vector. Understand? Because but we went a little bit off from the business. Now, about the business, that's critical to
So
change
a
your
good
personality.
manager.
It has to be different
person.
vector.
Mhm.
Person who opens the business, he cannot be manager, no matter what he's gonna do. He has to find that person with anal vector.
Yeah, that's
and put
true. I
him as
actually
manager.
agree. I think there's like more like good managers, and that's good to be a manager. And there's like some people who are like CEOs, who are like to like have an idea or vision and passion, but it's
That's
more like
exactly, they're
visionaries.
creative. But what they do, they try to stay in
Yes,
their
yes.
business and run it themselves because it's small. Sometimes you don't have enough funds. That's what I did. And the mistake I did the same. That's how I learned all that.
Downhill.
Well, you go down, then you go up.
And you go
And
up.
from the second, you go higher.
Yeah, that's
it,
true.
you know how it works. And if you take any businessman, if it didn't went down a few times, he's not gonna be up. I guarantee you. There is no
Mhm.
way. And that's another thing about the business.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, it's a lot of more other things, but those are one of the main ones.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on.